Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1980 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Indians at Cleveland Stadium. On the mound for Detroit is Jack Billingham, who is 3-7 with a 4.46 ERA. And pitching for the home team today is Wayne Garland, whose record is 5-6, and he has a 4.76 ERA. And so our Tigers are glad to get the heck out of town. We got beat all three games in every aspect of baseball: pitching, hitting, fielding, base running. We were beat in every aspect. Yesterday's game was a lot of fun, even though we lost. Rosema had a perfect game going into the fifth inning. Alan Trammell extended his hit streak, and then the Orioles, with the score tied 1-1 in the top of the ninth, the Orioles had back-to-back home runs to give them a 4-1 lead, and then Tippy Martinez came in and struck out the side. So it was a crazy ninth inning, a crazy game in general, a lot of fun, but it put us 3 games out. It propelled Baltimore into first place, and now we're 3 games back, and we're in a tough spot. The only bright spot on the horizon is Milt Wilcox comes back in 2 days, so he'll be back for the next start in the rotation, and maybe having him back will give us a little solidify our pitching rotation. But today we have number 5 starter Jack Billingham on the mound, who's 3-7 with a 4.46 ERA. All of our bullpen is available, and that was part of the problem in the series with Baltimore. Is we pitched so badly in the first game that all of our bullpen got used up, and we had to piece it together. We did put Carlton Fisk back in the lineup in place of Champ Summers, and I put Richie Hebner in there after the day off yesterday instead of Tom Brookins. And so, as we've been doing for the past couple of weeks, we're going to go ahead and do the lineup rundown. And over here on the right side, you'll see the corresponding 1980 Topps baseball card. That represents that player. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the Tigers lineup. Batting first is Sweet Lou Whitaker, playing second base. And here's his stats for the season. Feel free to pause that and take a longer look. And batting second and playing third base is Richie Hebner. Batting third and in left field is Steve Kemp. Batting cleanup, playing catcher today is Lance Parrish. Batting fifth and in right field is Gary Hancock. Batting sixth and at first base, Jason Thompson. Batting seventh and in center field is Barry Bunnell. Batting eighth and DHing today is Carlton Fisk. And finally, batting ninth and at shortstop is Alan Trammell. And on the mound for Cleveland today is Wayne Garland. Wayne Garland is 5-6 with a 4.76 ERA. Actually, not too bad considering that the Indians are in last place, 20 games out. A 5-6 record isn't all that bad. He's got 2 complete games and a shutout, so he's doing his part at least. So let's go ahead and get started and see if we can get back on the winning track today. Lou Whitaker leads off. He's 4 for 8 with 3 walks against Garland this season. And Whitaker's going to ground it to first, and that'll be the first out of the game. And batting second is Richie Hebner. Hebner's going to line it back to the pitcher, and that will be the second out of the inning. And Batting third will be Steve Kemp, 2 down. And Kemp grounds it to short for the 3rd out. Oh no, actually it's booted by the shortstop Tom Verizor. And so Kemp is going to be safe at first. And that's going to give Parrish a chance to keep the inning going. He's 1 for 11 against Garland. And he lines out to third for the 3rd out. And so no runs scored in the top of the 1st. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Indians lineup. Batting first for Cleveland is second baseman Kevin Romberg. Batting second and in center field is Rick Manning. Batting third and in left is Mike Hargrove, the human rain delay. Batting cleanup, playing first base today, is slugger Andre Thornton. Batting fifth and catching, Ron Hasse. Batting sixth and in right field is Sarge, Gary Matthews. And DHing today and batting seventh is Chris Bando. And batting eighth and at third base is Mike Champion. And finally batting ninth and playing shortstop, a former Tiger, Tom Verizor. And on the mound for the Detroit Tigers, making his 15th start of the year, is Jack Billingham, 3-7 with a 4.46 ERA, 302 batting average against. He's had some good starts, and he's had some rough starts. That's the best way I could describe his season. Every once in a while, he'll surprise me and make it through 6, and then otherwise he gets blown out by the 3rd inning. So we'll see who shows up pitching for Detroit today, and we're going to go ahead and get going with Kevin Romberg, who's playing second base. The Indians, now that they're so far out of it, have been making a few trades, so we're going to see some names in the lineup we haven't seen yet, like Romberg and Mike Champion. As Romberg pops out to short for the 1st out, it's going to bring up Rick Manning. Manning grounds it back to Trammell, and that will be the 2nd out. So 2 down, bringing up Mike Hargrove. And Hargrove is going to bloop it into left center field, and it will be caught by Kemp. So a 1-2-3 inning for Billingham. And we head to the top of the 2nd with Gary Hancock leading off the inning. Hancock's going to hit it back up the middle, but it'll be grabbed by the shortstop Verizor, and that'll be the 1st out. So 1 down for JT. JT had his batting streak snapped yesterday, but he's going to start a new one today with a base hit to center field. His batting streak ended at 10 games. And with 1 down, Barry Bonnell is up. Thompson has really slow speed, but it won't matter because Garland balks Thompson to second base. And so we have a runner in scoring position for Bonnell. And Bonnell shoots it back up the middle to the right side. It's going to be a base hit. And Thompson does score from second. And we take an early 1-0 lead. Bonnell at first base. And here's Carlton Fisk, who, although being 3 for 9 against Wayne Garland, is in a terrible month-long slump. He sat out the last 2 games, although he did pinch hit. And he strikes out. No surprise there, as there's 2 outs for Ellen Trammell. Trammell is on a 13-game hitting streak, and there's the 2nd balk by Wayne Garland. So Bonnell is into a scoring position for Trammell. See if he can keep his hit streak alive. And he's going to ground it slowly back over the bag at second, and he will be out to end the inning. So we put a run on the board as Garland balks twice in that inning. And we head to the bottom of the 2nd, up 1-0 with Andre Thornton leading off against Jack Billingham. Thornton grounds it to Whitaker at second, and he's out at first for the first out. So one down for catcher Ron Hasse. Hasse hits it right back up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. So we have Hasse on first base. Definitely a double play candidate with a 64 speed. And we're going to hope Billingham can get a ground ball of Matthews. Instead, he pops it over the mound, and it's going to be caught just onto the outfield grass by Alan Trammell. That's going to be the second out. So two down for Chris Banda, who in the last series tore us up pretty good. But he's going to ground out to first base, and that will be the third out. So to the top of the third, leadoff hitter Lou Whitaker will start off the inning against Garland. And Lou goes down and gets one, shoots it to left field, and he's got a base hit. So we're going to hit and run with Hebner. We have good speed at first. And that looked like a knuckleball. Regardless, Hebner grounds it to second. Whitaker advances to second base. And we have a runner in scoring position again. It's all three innings we've put ourselves in an opportunity to score. Kemp grounds it to short. And Whitaker remains at second base as they go to first for the second out. So two down for Parrish. He hasn't had a home run in a long time. Parrish grounds it to second, and that's the final out of the inning. So we head to the bottom of the third, and that's going to bring up Mike Champion to lead off the inning. Champion playing third base, which is where Toby Harrah was playing before he got traded last week. And Champion's going to get an infield single back toward the pitcher's mound. And that's the second hit of the game for the Indians. I'm going to pull the third baseman in, Hebner, just in case Verizor tries to bunt. And instead, he's going to single up the middle. Champion stops at second base, and the Indians have a little rally going. First and second, nobody out. And Romberg's going to ground it to Hebner. Will that be two? It is a double play. Champion advances to third. And we're an out away from getting through this inning. Rick Manning's up, though. He's a left-hander. He's batting .261 versus righties. And Manning will ground it to Trammell, and Trammell boots it. And Manning will be safe at first as a run scores. It's an unearned run. And the game is tied. So Trammell has been pretty decent defensively this year. Cost us a run on that one, and he's going to cost us two more as Hargrove plants it into the left center field bleachers. And that's going to be Hargrove's 8th home run, team-leading 8th home run. And now we're down 3-1. So a costly error from Trammell, as we have the back-to-back hits, as Thornton hits a single to left field. And this is how it all falls apart. I mean, Cleveland has played us really tough all year. We seem to do well against the good teams and poor against the last place teams. As Hasse pops it up, and that is the third out of the third inning. So we head to the top of the fourth. Now we're down 3-1. Wayne Garland's at 50 pitches. And Gary Hancock's going to get one back as he hits a home run to right field. And that was a 379-foot shot. That's his 11th on the year. And we're down 3-2. Nobody out. Jason Thompson's up. And Thompson's going to line out to shortstop. And that's the first out of the inning. So one down for Barry Bonnell. And Barry Bonnell's going to hit it on a line drive into the left center field gap. And it's going to be chased down by the center fielder, Rick Manning, who is probably one of the better defensive center fielders in the American League based on his ratings. So 2 down, and as expected, Carlton Fisk pops it up. So that's going to be the 3rd out. We get a run back on the board, down 1 run, heading into the bottom of the 4th. Billingham's at 50 pitches. We're going to be asking him to at least get us through 2 more, as Matthews grounds it to second, and Whitaker's got it and gets him at first. So that's 1 down for switch hitter Chris Bando. Bando grounds it to Hebner. That's 2 down, so 2 outs. And third baseman Mike Champion comes to the plate, and he's going to lift it over Whitaker into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And that's the 6th hit against Billingham. So runner at first for Verizor. Verizor's going to ground it to Whitaker, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So we head to the top of the 5th. Score still 3-2. And Trammell's going to lead off the inning. Again, Trammell's sitting on a 13-game hitting streak. And he is going to hit a home run, his 3rd home run in 4 games, extending his hit streak to 14. And the game is tied. I'm sorry, I have to take a moment to take a look at this. Take a look at the game log. So it's not including today's game. So that's his 3rd home run in 4 games, his 5th in the last 20. And there's that hit streak that I told you about. So, wow, Trammell is crushing it from the number 9 spot. So we're all tied up at 3. Nobody out. Whitaker to the plate. Whitaker shoots it right back up the middle on a line for a base hit. And he holds it first. It didn't work last time. Let's try it again. Hit and run for Hebner. Nobody down. And Hebner's going to do the same thing he did last time. Ground it to short. Whitaker advances. And we do have the lead run at second base with 1 out. Kemp gets a hold of it, and he pulls it to right field, and it's gone for a home run. 407 feet. 30 feet longer than Trammell's. And we've taken control of the game here in the 5th. Up by 2. Still only 1 out. That's the first home run in quite a while for Kemp. I don't think he's had one in the last 20 games that I've seen in those stats that I pulled up a moment ago for Trammell. And Parrish grounds it to second, so 2 down for Gary Hancock. And Hancock's going to lift it to center field, and it's going to be caught on the warning track by Manning. That's the 3rd out of the inning. And we get a 2-run lead now going into the bottom of the 5th. Billingham is at 65 pitches. This is the point where you have to keep an eye on him. He tends to lose it right about now. As Romberg grounds it over the bag, and Trammell boots it for the 2nd time. Actually, it's a throwing error as Romberg advances to second base. And now I'm definitely concerned because we have 2 lefties coming up. And like I mentioned, Billingham typically blows it in the 5th. But Manning grounds it to Whitaker at second. Romberg advances to 3rd, and there is 1 down. I'm willing to give up that run if it gives us an out with Hargrove. And you know what? He's going to pop it up on the infield. The run is definitely going to hold at 3rd. So it's 2 down. And Billingham's only got to get through Andre Thornton. And Thornton rips it on a line to left field. And Kemp makes the catch at the wall, and that is the 3rd out. And congratulations to Billingham for finally getting through 5. And we have a 5-3 lead, top of the 6th. Garland's sitting at 81 pitches. Thompson's going to top the ball back to the pitcher's mound, and that's the 1st out of the inning. So 1 down. as Barry Bonnell comes to the plate. Bonnell's batting .274. And he hits it back to the pitcher. And so back-to-back putouts or assists by the pitcher. And this time, Fisk grounds it past Garland into center field, and finally, Fisk is off the schneid. So runner at first, Trammell to the plate, and Trammell's going to hit it to right center field, and Manning's got this one for the out. And now we're going to keep Billingham on a short leash. Every batter could be his last. He technically has not given up an earned run yet. So let's see how he does here as Hassel lines it to right. Hancock has it for the first out. So that's going to bring up Matthews with one down. And there we go. Billingham is tired and he walks Matthews, and that's all I need to know. So we're going to pull Billingham out. Oh, man. And I think in the sixth, we have some righties coming up. So Weaver had a bad outing his last time out. So we're going to put in Hume. And we're going to see if Hume can get us out of this jam. And Bando pops it up to Trammell. He's got 2 errors already today. But he's got that one cleanly, and that's the second out of the inning. Bringing up Mike Champion. And Champion rips it to left. That's a hit as Matthews advances to third. And Verizor has a chance to get the game 1 run closer. He grounds it to Hebner, and that is the third out. So the Indians are going to bring in a new pitcher. We're going to go ahead and pull up the game stats for these final 3 innings so you can see how the game is progressing for each team. So they're bringing in Bobby Cuellar, and Cuellar's pitched in 15 games. He's 1-4, 3.80 ERA, pitching actually pretty effectively. He's got 2 saves, and Whitaker's going to be the first person to face Cuellar in the game, and he grounds it just past the second baseman, Kevin Romberg. And Whitaker is at first base. It's his 3rd hit of the game. He's 3 for 4. And so the first 2 times I've hit and run with Hebner, and it hasn't worked. So we're going to let Hebner just swing away. And he's going to top it to third base, and that's going to be an infield hit. So runners at first and second for Kemp, who had the big blast to give the Tigers the lead. And he gets under it, pops it up into foul ground. And the first baseman Thornton has it for the first out. So 1 down for Parrish. Only Tiger without a hit today. He's going to ground it directly back to the pitcher Cuellar, and they're going to turn 2 to get out of the inning. So wasted opportunity. And we're going to ask Hume to get Kevin Romberg. And you know what? We're going to play it safe. We're going to take out Hebner. We're going to bring in Brookins, who's superior defensively at third by quite a bit. And we're going to have Hume try to get Romberg, and then we'll go to the lefty for the next 2 batters. Nope, of course. Hume walks the leadoff batter. And that's going to force us to go to Underwood. So Underwood comes into the game, and he's pitched in 32 games. He's 1-1 with a 2.56 ERA. He's got 1 save on the year, and opponents are batting .257. So Underwood has definitely done his job. And let's see how he fares against Manning. He throws the first pitch ball, but Parrish throws out Romberg trying to steal second. So, costly mistake perhaps for the Indians, as we have 1 down, and Manning grounds it back to Underwood. And that's going to be 2 outs for Mike Hargrove. And Hargrove is just going to pop it over Whitaker's head. And this time it will be caught by Bunnell in center. And we head to the top of the 8th. And Gary Hancock's going to lead off the inning. He's 1 for 3 with that big blast earlier too. Pops it up into foul ground by third base side. And that's the first out. 1 down for JT. JT's going to hit it over the first baseman's head down the line. And he's going to hold it first with a single. So 1 out for Barry Bunnell. Runner at first, and Bunnell pops it up to third base. And Mike Champion has it for the second out. So 2 down for Fisk, who finally got a base hit. And he strikes out in this at bat. So more of the same, really. We head to the bottom of the 8th. We're going to take Underwood out. We're going to bring in a righty. And we're going to give Tobic another shot. Tobic gave up the last 2 home runs in the back-to-back yesterday, as Rosema gave up the first one to give up the tie, and then Tobic just came in and gave up home runs to the next 2 batters. So, you know, we got to run him back out there, and Thornton's going to lead off the bottom of the 8th by popping up to Trammell. And that's the first out. So 1 down. Ron Hasse comes to the plate. Hasse's 1 for 3. And he strikes out. That's actually the first strikeout of an Indians pitcher today. An Indians hitter today. So 2 down for Gary Matthews. And Matthews pops it up to second base. And that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning, and good job by Tobic. So the Indians are going to bring in closer Mike Stanton. He took over for Victor Cruz, who was the closer for the first couple of months. So Stanton's pitched 20 games, 2-2 record with a 1.82 ERA. Opponents are batting under 200 against him, and he's 4 out of 5 in save opportunities. So you can see why they went with Stanton as the closer. Victor Cruz's ERA was well over 7. And Trammell gets another base hit. So that's the 12th hit against the Indians today. And here's Whitaker, who's 1 for 2 on the year versus Mike Stanton. And Whitaker is going to ground it to the first baseman, and they're going to get 2. So Whitaker grounds into a double play. And that's going to give Brookins an opportunity to get a plate appearance. This is his first at-bat of the game. And he strikes out. So we head to the bottom of the 9th, and it's time for closer Senor Smoke, Aurelio Lopez. And we'll take a look at Lopez's numbers. Whoops, there you go. So this is going to be his 30th game. He's got a 2-1 record. With a 2-1 record, 2.48 ERA. Opponents are batting .221, and he's 17 for 19 in save opportunities. And he's going to have to get through the bottom third of the lineup with Chris Bando coming to the plate. And Bando, on a 3-1 count, hits it to right center field. And Hancock has it for the first out. So 1 down. 2 outs away from getting off the schneid and breaking this 5-game losing streak. The Indians, by the way, are on a 4-game losing streak, so they're not faring much better as Champion strikes out. So we're down to the final out. Tom Verizor with 2 down. Hits it over Whitaker's head, and it's going to be caught by Bunnell, and we get the victory. Tigers win 5-3. Take the first game of the 3-game series at Cleveland. Let's go ahead and take a look at the transactions. big sigh of relief to get off that 5-game losing streak. There is a milestone. Rod Carew gets his 300th career steal. That's impressive. And a couple of injuries there, but none of any significance. So let's pull up the box score, and then we'll get out of here. Oops, I pulled up the wrong one. Let's pull up that one instead. And as always, I appreciate everyone following along. Like and subscribe if you are enjoying the content. I also have a big giveaway on the channel for my Brainiac baseball card breaks. So take a look in the comments. You'll find the link to the giveaway. And you can enter that. It's free. And maybe you'll win something big from me. And take a look at the lineup. Who's going to be the player of the game? We had 3 home runs, but it was Gary Hancock that gave us the lead. So I think we're going to give it to Hancock. Yeah, that's who it's going to. No, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm going to give it to Trammell because he does have a 14-game hitting streak. And he hit that home run to give him, to extend that streak. He did have 2 errors today, which hurt us. Jack Billingham gets the win, 4-7. Lopez gets the save. Garland takes the loss. Yeah, go ahead and pause it if you want to take a look at that longer. And until tomorrow, everyone, have a great night.